the Meike 28mm f2.8. It cost only about 80 bucks, but is it worth it or is it even more worth? Let's find out. Hello and welcome here to another video on my channel. At my channel you will find lens reviews like this and reviews of other Sony accessories. Today I want to show you the Meike 28mm f2.8, and yeah, at start I have to say something. I get this lens for free, but I will tell you all the good things and also the negative aspects like usual. But negative things are very hard to find with this lens, but this later. I tested this lens for a couple of weeks, nearly some months. For example, when I were in Norway for my holidays, I nearly photographed all the time with this lens. And yeah, I really like it. But one step after another. At first, the lens itself, when I opened the box, there was only the lens and a microfiber cleaning cloth. Yeah, it's okay. Some box or some pouch would be nice, but for 80 bucks, it's okay. My first impression was very good. The lens is so small, even compared to other lenses like the kit lens from Sony, the 16-50. It is really small. It's a real pancake lens. It is smaller than the collapsed kit lens, and it's very lightweight, but not as light as you would expect if you see the lens, because it's fully out of metal. Also the mount is out of metal, and when you see it, there are no electronic connections because this is a manual lens only. That's why you have two rings on the lens, one for the aperture and one for the focus. The aperture ring is the first one, and it's really near to the mount, but it's okay to handle on my A6000, and the focus ring is here on the front. Also, if the lens is very small, it's very nice separated, so you can't bump them by accident, and this is really nice compared to the small form factor of the lens. The aperture ring is very smooth, and it goes all the way from 2.8 to f8 and then f22. It is really smooth all the way. In my opinion, a bit too smooth, but this is really up to the user, and so not a real critic point, because somebody of you may like this one. If it's too loose for you, you have a little screw that you can change the resistance if you have a screwdriver which is small enough. I don't have one, that's why I have to live with the resistance the lens came from the factory, but it's okay. It's only a bit too loose. It's not like I said, okay, I only touch the ring and it flips around. It's okay. It's okay stiff, but in my opinion it could be a bit more stiff. But now the focus ring. The focus ring is very smooth all the way, from 0.25 of a meter to 1 meter. You have a very large scale. Then it went fast to 2 meters and to infinity. The resistance is well over the complete turn, and I would think it's about 3/4 of a turn, so you can focus really nice with the lens, also for distances which are further away than 1 meter. One thing you notice, maybe the barrel does extend while focusing, so also the image you will capture can change a little bit when you focus from closer distances to further away. But this is not a big issue, because nearly all manual lenses in this price category have this problem. And I just noticed this problem also by a Zeiss lens, which is 10 times the price. Only one problem appeared with the focus ring. I used the lens outdoor for most of the times, and the focus ring isn't like the aperture ring on the top of the barrel. It is inside the housing. You only have a small window where you can see the scale, and then the ring goes into the housing. And this caused one problem, because some dust or sand or something like that went into this small space between the ring and the housing, and so I have some crushing in the lens at some points. It's my fault, because I use the lens outdoors, and it's no real problem. So the lens function is as good as at the first day. It's only, it could be better if you had put the ring on the top of the barrel, that there is no space where dust or something like that could go inside the lens. The other problem would be that both rings then are very tight together, so you can bump them by accident. So I think they don't even had a real opportunity to make something else. All in all, it's really nice to work with this lens and I like it. But how good are the images you can produce with this lens? And for this, I first show you some pics that you can judge by your own, and then I will tell you something about my opinion on the image quality of this lens. So here are the sample pictures I took over the last couple weeks. So what are your thoughts about the images? Are they good? Aren't they good? Let me know down in the comments. And yeah, at first I really love the images you could take with this lens. They are sharp, really sharp, not only compared to other lenses of this price tag, also compared to better lenses, which are more expensive. And I wouldn't expected this quality out of this lens. It was one of the first fully manual lenses I tested, and I was really, really impressed. I don't expect that much because of the price tag of 80 bucks. I thought, okay, it's a lens, you could use it, but it is so super sharp and you get so nice images that it is now my to-go lens for nearly every situation. And what is really nice about the lens, that the sharpness is also well even wide open, and it gets better until f4 or f5.6, and then it goes slowly down a bit, but it is sharp right at the beginning at f2.8, and this is really important because most of the cheap lenses maybe have f2, f1.4, f1.2, something like that, but you can't use them really at this aperture. You have to stop down it for 1 stop, for 2 stops, until you get image quality which is good enough to use it. And here you can use the lens right at f2.8. Only one negative aspect appears if you use the lens wide open. There will some vignetting going on around the edges, but they nearly disappear until f4. So you could handle it. Most of the programs could handle with some vignetting. Really nice, and they aren't as heavy as it would be a real problem. So I have to tell it to you that there is some vignetting, but it isn't that bad, and in my opinion it adds something to the image, so it doesn't look bad. But you have to know it before you buy it. Also, the lens nearly have no problems with chromatic aberrations or lens flares. You have to point the lens directly in harsh light to get some flares on the lens, but they will be very small, and so it's okay. And the chromatic aberrations, I really tried to get some, but it don't really happen. So all in all, the images you could take with this lens are really good, and like I said, not only compared to other lenses of this price tag, also compared to more expensive lenses. But is there any negative aspect with this lens? And I have to mention one negative thing, and it is with this lens cap. Normally you have a lens cap which clicks into the filter thread, but here you have a lens cap which sticks on top of the lens. It's nice, it looks very great, and it is built also fully out of metal, so it's robust, and yeah. But the problem is, the more often you use it, the looser it gets. So if you use a lens very often like it maybe hold on the lens, it hold on the lens if I don't touch the lens, but it gets more and more loose, and sometimes if I put the lens inside my bag, it fall off the lens and the front element is open. So this is one negative aspect, but you could fix it if you buy another lens cap, another cheap lens cap, which clicks into the filter thread. It costs you a couple bucks, maybe $3 or $4, something like that. It could be a cheap one, but it holds better and protects your front element much better than this cap does. So all in all, what is my conclusion about the lens? Like I said a couple of times, I really love the image quality. Not only compared to other lenses on this price tag, it is a real good lens with a real nice image quality. It is built fully out of metal, it felt nice, it is small, it is lightweight. I love the working with this lens. So all in all, it is my to-go lens. Also the 28mm are a really nice focal length, especially at an APS-C size sensor. So you nearly have the field of view of a human eye. So it's really nice, it felt naturally if you look at the pics. And yeah, like I said, it's my to-go lens. If I have to choose one lens to go, I would take this lens. And at the moment, if I don't know what to expect from a photo walk or something like that, I put this lens on my camera and I will be fine nearly all the day. Only if I want to photograph something really, really special, I take another lens. On all the other cases, I take this 28mm f2.8. This was my review. What are your thoughts about the lens, and maybe you own one of these? Let me know down in the comments. Share this video with your friends, because I think everybody should know about this lens because it's so well. And yeah, smash the like button if you liked the video, and don't forget to subscribe to see more lens reviews like this. See you later.